I'm going to share what I think are the top 5 mistakes keeping most people from making a decent living. I've been able to start making more money than my full-time tech salary that I lost just a few months ago. And I was able to do this just by avoiding the mistakes that I'm going to share in this video. So mistake number 1 is limiting your income in your career growth to only a full-time job. Now let me explain this. The number of full-time jobs posted is at a 3-year low, and I think the number is going to actually continue to go down, even though most people say it's coming back up. But whether or not it's going to come back up, I think most people make a mistake when they limit their career growth and their income to just their full-time job. For me, when I was working at a church, which is generally a low-paying job, I was able to start some side projects in data analytics. And these projects were geared towards teaching me new professional skills and technical skills that would make me more valuable to the marketplace. And I'll share some more details on this when we get to mistake number 2. But by not limiting my career growth to my full-time job, I was able to actually increase my income by over 4 times within a year, solely because I chose not to limit my career growth to what I was receiving inside of my full-time job. So the second mistake that I think is limiting most people from earning a decent living is limiting their education to only formal education, meaning getting an actual college degree. Now, I think that most people are starting to rightfully question the idea that you need to have a college degree in order to have a successful career. And this actually shows with the enrollments in college in the US being down by over 1 million when compared to 2019. And it's true that in the past, getting a college degree was the best and sometimes the only place to get all of the professional skills and knowledge you need in order to be a successful professional. But for the past 20 years, the cost of getting a college degree has actually gone up twice as fast as the rate of inflation, making it crazy expensive. And also now, we have access to extremely high quality education for free online, mostly on YouTube. Today, we no longer need to rely on professional teachers, and we can instead learn from the hundreds of thousands of entrepreneurs and business owners and other successful people who are taking the time to turn on the camera and share their experience with us. Experience that in the past would have needed to be distilled down by an academic committee and then put in a textbook and then taught from that textbook to us. So today, instead of relying on things that I memorized from a 15-year-old textbook, I'm able to learn from people like Layla and Alex Hormozy, who just this year have built and scaled dozens of other people's businesses. So for me personally, I've actually received quite a bit of college instruction, with me finishing 2 associate's degrees, which are 2-year degrees, and then almost finishing a 4-year bachelor's degree. And side note, if you're curious why I paused getting that degree, check out this other video that I did in the description. But in addition to all of this college instruction, over the past 3 years, I've spent 1 to 2 hours per day consistently watching YouTube videos on subjects that I'm interested in learning. And I learned almost all of my data analytics skills that I have now from YouTube. And today, I'm sure that if I stopped learning after I left college, I would not be making half of the money that I'm making right now. And not to discount books, I've learned quite a lot from books as well, but I just think that YouTube is the most efficient way to learn new skills quickly. And if you aren't sure what skills to learn, what skills are in demand, then just YouTube that also. There's lots of great videos on that as well. Now, mistake number 3 is focusing only on how much money you can make instead of focusing on how much value you can bring to the marketplace. I think most people are actually kept from earning a decent living because they only focus on growing their income. And what I think you actually need to do in order to grow your income is, instead of focusing just on how can I grow my income, you need to ask yourself, how can I better serve the marketplace? Or how can I serve the marketplace to a higher capacity? And I know that seems pretty vague, but basically what you need to do is just learn new technical and professional skills that will help you achieve better outcomes on the projects that you're doing for the people that pay you. And actually for myself, by thinking this way, I was able to discover that I should do data analytics. And the reason for that is because even though there are other higher paying side hustles and skills that I could have learned, I have a tendency to be better at data engineering and analyst tasks. And so that was actually how I started investing more and more time into learning those skills. Now, mistake number 4 that I think is keeping most people from making a decent living is not leveraging new technology and social media. I think that if you're constantly learning new things and starting new projects, posting about it online is a great way to connect with people who need that sort of work and also people who are learning similar skills. Examples of this for me would be times that I've posted basic analytics tutorials on YouTube, and it led to people finding that video, reaching out to me, and then them becoming a client of mine. And I also really leverage another social platform called Upwork. And without Upwork, I am sure that I would only have a small fraction of the clients that I have today. So if you're learning new skills or starting a side hustle, make sure you're taking advantage of platforms like Upwork, social media, Etsy, or other places that you could possibly connect with other people who possibly need your help. Now, the next mistake that I think is keeping most people from making a decent living is being too slow to adapt to changes. I think it's clear to most people that the world, and specifically the job market, is changing at a faster rate than it ever has in human history. With the rapid technology growth, we experience more change within a year that our ancestors experienced over their entire lifetime. And with this being the reality, I think it's really important that we're paying attention to trends that can augment the work that we do in our day-to-day lives. For me, practically, thinking this way is actually what led me to stop looking for a full-time job just over a month after I was laid off. And I did this because I think that we're moving into a time that's gonna be similar to the way the job market was before the Industrial Revolution, where most people made their livings either working for themselves or working for another small business in some sort of apprenticeship. Obviously, the world has changed a lot, but I think that people need to come around to viewing the job market as a place that is going to be more centered on our skills and our ability to deliver certain outcomes to people who are willing to pay. Now, there are also a couple of other reasons that I believe this that might surprise you, and if you're interested in hearing them, then click on this video.